We'll see if it comes out. Okay, B9, we are going to be talking about absolute value equations. Okay. And when, probably the last time that we looked at absolute value, I don't even know if we've really looked at it in here at all. I think maybe one problem, okay? But we haven't talked about absolute value equations ever, so this is kind of a new topic for us. And absolute value equations, just to let you know, these are not difficult, the ones that we're going to do in here anyway, okay? They are ones that can increase in difficulty level from easy to medium to, okay, that was kind of hard. All right, but we are only going to look at the easy ones. We're going to talk about introduction. These are things that you will see in your future math classes, and they are going to be important, okay? Now, real fast, does anyone remember what absolute value is?
Distance from 0.
Yes. This is a number's distance from 0 on the number line. Okay. So, for instance, when we work with just numbers, the absolute value of 5 is equal to 5. No. How far from 0 is 5 on the number line?
5.
It is 5 units. What about the absolute value of negative 4?
4.
It is 4. Negative 4 is 4 units from 0 on the number line. And when we talk absolute value, we don't care whether we are moving left or right. It's just a question of how far. Okay? So, when we talk absolute value of numbers, absolute value, we refer to it as non-negative. And non-negative, that's just a fancy word for 0 or positive. Okay, and we don't say absolute value is always positive because 0 technically has no sign. Okay? All right, so we're going to start off relatively easy on this. Okay, and then we'll kind of increase our difficulty level. All right, so I'm going to take away the number and I'm going to replace it with a variable. So let's see here. Let's go absolute value of x equals 6. So this is saying the absolute value of what numbers is equal to 6. What do we get?
-6 or 6.
Exactly. We have 6 or negative 6. Okay. And you're done. That's as easy as, okay, pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does everyone agree that's easy?
Yes.
Okay. Don't worry, we're going to get just a little bit harder.
Okay.
Okay? But it basically boils down to that. The inside must be plus or minus 6. Those are the only two numbers that you take the absolute value of and you get 6. Are we all right with that? Okay. You ready for the second easy example? The absolute value of x equals -4. absolute value of any number is always, well, we'll say non-negative, but yes, positive. Can it ever equal a negative number? No. So what is this one? No solution. Absolute value cannot equal a negative. Okay, so these are going to be our two base cases. Is we set the inside equal to plus or minus the outside, or we get no solution. Okay, are we all right with that? All right, so we're going to step up the difficulty level bit, okay, and see what we can do. This is basically our procedure. One, we want to isolate the absolute value. If there is anything outside the absolute value that is being multiplied, divided, added, subtracted, we want to move it to the other side of the equation. Okay? If it is equal to a negative number, no solution. You don't have to do a single thing. Okay? If it is equal to a positive number, we are going to set the inside equal to the positive and negative number. And all we're going to look at is we're only going to look at absolute value equations where it's equal to a number. Okay? So on the previous set of examples, we just had the inside was an x. We are going to expand that a little bit, and the inside can be not just an x, but it can be x plus 5. It can be 3x minus 2. It can be whatever it wants inside. And all we're going to do is take that inside thing and set it equal to the positive number and equal to the negative number. Are we okay with that? From there, we want to solve the equations from step 3. Is that all right? Okay, so let's try some examples and see what we can do. Let's try absolute value of x minus 3 equals 7. So the first thing that I'm going to do is let's just ignore the inside. Let's ignore the x minus 3. We're just going to say absolute value of something equals 7. So what does that something have to be? Well, this means that our inside thing either has to equal 7 or our inside thing has to equal negative 7. Are we all right with that? Okay, so we've got two little equations here, and now we can go ahead and solve them. So first one, what do we need to do?
Add 3 to both sides.
We're going to add 3 to both sides, and we get 10.
equals 10.
Second one, what do we need to do there?
Add 3 to both sides.
We're going to add 3 to both sides. And we get x equals -4. And you're done. Is that okay? Couple more? Okay. All right, let's try something a little bit harder. Let's go x plus 2, absolute value of x plus 2. Let's go -3 equals 2.
So we add 3 to both sides.
Yes, the first thing that we need to do is we do need to isolate the absolute value. So anything on the outside, I need to move to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and start by adding 3 to both sides. We get absolute value of x plus 2 equals
Equals 5.
5. Are we all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then that means that the inside
Has to equal 5 or
has to equal 5, or
-5.
the inside has to equal -5.
-7.
All right, so first one, what do we need to do?
Subtract 2 from both sides.
Subtract 2, and we get x equals 3. Or
Or subtract 2 to both sides and we get -7.
x equals -7. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Couple more? All right, let's try the absolute value of x minus 4 plus 7 equals 2. What's the first thing we need to do?
Subtract 7 from both sides.
We're going to subtract 7 from both sides, and we get,
-5.
so we got the absolute value of x minus 4 equals -5. And we're done. This one, remember, absolute value can never equal a negative number. And so this has no solution. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last one. What are we on? Example D?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's try 2x minus 3. We'll do 2 more. Plus 2 equals 10. Make it a plus 1. Make it a plus 1 instead of a plus 2. I don't feel like working with fractions. Are we okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
9 or -9.
All right, so we subtract 1 because it's on the outside. We want to isolate our absolute value. And we get absolute value of 2x minus 3 equals 9. And then
Or -9.
we're going to set the inside thing equal to 9, or we're going to set the inside thing equal to -9. All right, first one, what do we need to do to solve this?
Add 3 to both sides.
Add 3.
Do 2x, then you get to 12. Then divide both sides by 2. Equals 6.
We get x equals 6. All right, second one, what do we need to do?
We add 3 to both sides, which turns into a -6, and divide both sides by 2.
We are going to add 3. We divide by 2,
Equals -3.
and we get x equals -3. Is that all right? Okay. All right. last one. This is the last one. Okay, let's do 3 absolute value of x minus 2 plus 1 equals 16.
Subtract 1 from both sides and then divide both sides by 3.
Yes, we need to take everything outside the absolute value and move it to the other side. So we're going to start by subtracting 1. We get 15. I also have the 3 on the outside. I need to get rid of that one as well. And so we are going to divide both sides by 3. Now my absolute value is isolated. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, and then?
Or -5. 5 or -5.
So we're going to set our inside thing equal to 5, or
-5.
our inside thing equals -5. And then for both of these, we add 2 to both sides, and we get x equals?
X equals 7, and x equals -3.
X equals -3. Is that all right? Okay. Now, as I said, as you progress in math, these problems are going to get more challenging. And the next level of difficulty is having variables outside the absolute value. Okay. So for instance, if that was absolute value of x minus 2, setting it equal to x plus 5. Okay. And that's the type of problem that you're going to look at in the next course, which is college algebra. So don't be surprised if you see it. Okay, but for this class, we're just introducing this, and this is as difficult as we're going to get. Are we okay with that? Okay. All right. Not too bad? Okay. That is B9.